Each dawn brings with it the chance to start anew, to become a version of ourselves more aligned with what we truly value. It's as if the sunrise reminds us that no matter the weight of yesterday's challenges, today we have a new opportunity to be reborn, renewing our strength and centering our mind. This is the moment to look ahead, to leave behind what has passed, and to commit ourselves to what truly matters: inner peace and the resilience to face whatever comes. Imagine how it would feel to face each situation with calm and certainty, unshaken by external turbulence. This video will guide you on this journey of transformation. And if you are committed to this change, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and comment with the phrase, "Today I choose peace." This affirmation is not just a phrase, it is a decision to live with purpose and serenity. By the end of this video, you will feel this new energy, strengthened and ready to find balance and tranquility, no matter what the day brings. 1. Appreciate inner silence. Imagine a man named Marco. He was someone living a hectic life between work, family, responsibilities, and social expectations. Marco spent his days running from place to place, always surrounded by noise, both external and internal. He constantly felt overwhelmed, and the little time he had for himself was filled with anxious thoughts and worries about what would come next. However, in a moment of exhaustion, something changed. He realized he needed an escape, not from a physical place, but from an inner refuge where he could find peace amidst the chaos of his life. It was then that Marco began waking up a little earlier, before dawn, while the world was still asleep and everything was silent. He used this time to simply be with himself, without the pressure of messages on his phone, without work commitments, and without the expectation of solving everything at once. At first, it felt strange, such deep silence that it almost bothered him. But day after day, Marco realized that in this silence, he wasn't truly alone. This moment became a sacred space where he could observe his own thoughts, like someone watching clouds pass by in the sky, without clinging to them, without judging them, just letting them flow. Marco's experience taught him something powerful. He learned that silence is not empty. On the contrary, it is a fertile field where the mind rests and where we can reconnect with our own essence. This silence is the space where we can hear our inner voice without the constant noise of external demands. As Seneca, the great Stoic philosopher, said, "He who is at peace with himself cannot be shaken by what happens around him." When Marco remembered these words, he felt strengthened, as if this moment of peace were a shield against the chaos of the world. Over time, Marco realized that the peace he found in silence was not something he needed to seek outside of himself. It had always been there, within him, waiting to be rediscovered. And this discovery brought a transformation in his life. He began to respond more calmly to daily problems. The situations that once made him anxious or irritated had less power over him, and the people around him began to notice this change. When they asked how he managed to stay so serene, he smiled and answered, "I find my peace every morning in a place no one can touch." This time of silence that Marco valued daily was not an escape from problems, but a way to strengthen himself to face them. By reconnecting with himself every morning, he discovered that true peace did not depend on circumstances. It didn't matter if the day would be full of challenges. He had a safe place where he could return and renew himself. Perhaps you're wondering, how can I find this same silence, this peace? The secret is simple, but powerful. Take a moment at the beginning of your day before the world pulls you in different directions and simply feel the silence around you. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and allow yourself to just be present, without expectations, without rush. In that moment, you're creating a space where you can observe your thoughts, where you can hear your own voice and connect with who you truly are. And little by little, you'll notice that this practice can transform your day and, over time, your life. Appreciating inner silence is a way to prepare our mind for what's to come, a way to build an internal fortress. And the beauty of this practice is that it's accessible to everyone. You don't need a special place nor a lot of time. You just need the willingness to disconnect for a few minutes and listen to what silence has to say. Remember, the world out there may be chaotic, but if you have peace within you, nothing can truly shake you. Start today. Take some time to appreciate the silence, and you'll see that this is one of the greatest gifts you can give yourself. And if this resonates with you, leave a comment with the phrase, "I find peace within myself." This isn't just a phrase, but a commitment to your own tranquility. Over time, as you cultivate this practice, you'll see that true peace doesn't depend on what happens outside, but on what you cultivate within yourself. 2. Seek inner peace. Seeking inner peace is like embarking on a personal journey, a crossing through the landscapes of our own mind and heart. Contrary to what many believe, true serenity does not lie in the circumstances around us, but within us. It doesn't matter how many material things we accumulate or how many approvals we receive from the outside world. If we don't cultivate inner peace, we will always feel incomplete, unsatisfied, as if something essential is always missing. To illustrate this, imagine a man who, after many years of struggle and dedication, achieved professional success and accumulated everything he believed would bring him happiness. Houses, cars, travel, a respected career. He had everything society considers symbols of success. Yet every night when he lay down to sleep, he was overwhelmed by an unease he couldn't explain. Despite his achievements, he felt like something was out of place, as if he were living a life that wasn't truly his. One day, in a spur of the moment to seek answers, he decided to visit a monastery in the mountains, a place where he was told people found a unique kind of peace. There, he met a monk who seemed to carry a deep calm, a serenity that emanated from his eyes and posture. The man shared his story, confessing that despite having everything he once dreamed of, he still felt empty and restless. He asked the monk what was missing, what he might be doing wrong. The monk listened attentively and replied, "You dedicated your life to accumulating everything the external world could offer you, but you forgot to look within. True peace does not come from the things we possess, but from who we choose to be." It's impossible to find serenity while we're busy trying to fill our hearts with the expectations of others or the notion of a perfect life. The monk continued, "Peace comes from acceptance. When you stop fighting against who you are, with all your virtues and flaws, you begin to find tranquility. Serenity is not the result of perfection, but of authenticity. The first step toward inner peace is accepting that you are a human being in evolution, someone who doesn't need to please everyone or live up to the unrealistic expectations society imposes." With these words, the man realized how much he had been trapped by ideas that took him further from himself. He understood that his anxiety came from constantly comparing himself to others, trying to achieve a perfection that didn't even exist. He began to understand that in order to find peace, he needed to let go of the idea that he had to be someone else to be happy. It was time to be authentic, to accept his weaknesses and recognize his strengths without needing external approval. This story is a powerful reminder that inner peace is a process, not a destination. We all carry expectations, and often we strive to appear as something we are not, believing that in doing so we will finally be accepted and happy. But peace comes when we stop chasing these illusions and accept who we truly are, with all our imperfections and unique characteristics. It's not about being perfect to have peace. What we need is authenticity and self-understanding. At the end of the day, the search for inner peace is about understanding that we are enough. This is a commitment we make to ourselves, an act of courage and self-love that transforms the way we live and how we view the world. 3. Free yourself from daily pressure. Routine often becomes an internal battle. Tasks, commitments, and expectations accumulate, creating an almost unbearable pressure, as if we're always in debt, constantly chasing a perfection that seems impossible to achieve. But does this relentless pursuit of perfection and the approval of others really set us free? Or does it imprison our true self in a cycle of anxiety and frustration? To better understand this, imagine the story of Lucas, a dedicated young man who from an early age learned that in order to be successful, he needed to meet the expectations of others. Every goal accomplished was followed by a new demand. Each achievement brought a new weight. He accumulated praise, titles, and completed tasks, but felt that something essential was being left behind. Even during his rest hours, his mind wandered through to-do lists, objectives yet to be reached, and, most exhausting of all, a constant comparison with others. One day, during a morning walk, Lucas stopped to watch the sun rise over the city. He realized that just as the sun followed its cycle effortlessly, he too could learn to respect his own cycles, his limitations, and his strengths. Reflecting there, he realized that the weight he felt didn't come from the tasks themselves, but from the pressure he placed on himself to be perfect, to meet expectations that were not always his own. He finally understood that true freedom would only come if he freed himself from these invisible chains, abandoning the need to please and the constant competition. Lucas began to adopt a new approach to life. Instead of focusing on doing everything perfectly, he started concentrating on what was truly essential. He came to understand that life is not a race against others, but a journey in search of our best self. By accepting this, he took the first step toward true freedom. Every small progress, each task completed with intention, and every moment of rest began to be celebrated. He still had goals, but now they were his. Goals chosen with purpose, helping him grow in an authentic way, free from the weight of perfectionism and comparison. Stoicism teaches us that we don't need to carry burdens that don't belong to us, and true peace of mind comes when we stop seeking external approval. The philosopher Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not over external events. Realize this and you will find strength." This reminds us that tranquility only arises when we detach from control and approval from others, focusing on what we can improve within ourselves. If you feel the weight of routine and expectations suffocating you, remember Lucas's story and this Stoic teaching. Allow yourself to reduce unrealistic expectations, let go of comparisons, and accept that your journey is unique. Focus on being the best version of yourself, and in doing so, you will find a light and true balance. After all, freedom is the privilege of walking in peace, with each step bringing you closer to your own essence. Type 4. Start with intention. Imagine a sailor adrift in the vast ocean, without a map, without a destination. He's carried by the currents, directionless, not knowing where he's going or even if he'll ever arrive anywhere. But when he chooses a direction, everything changes. The compass in his hands guides him, and each stroke gains purpose. The same happens to us when we start the day with a clear intention. Instead of being swept away by the whirlwind of circumstances, we start to steer our own lives with purpose and determination. Choosing an intention for the day is an act of presence and a commitment to what truly matters to you. It doesn't mean knowing every exact step or predicting what will happen. Above all, it's a commitment to direct your energy toward what strengthens your aspirations and aligns with your values. Upon waking, take a moment of silence to ask yourself, what is my intention for today? What will be my purpose? These questions, simple yet profound, open space for reflections that can transform not only your day, but your life. An inspiring story that illustrates the power of living with intention is that of Viktor Frankl, a psychiatrist and Holocaust survivor. Even amidst the horrors of the concentration camps, Frankl observed that those who had a sense of purpose and intention endured with extraordinary strength. He noticed that those who gave in to despair, letting go of their purpose, lost their will to live, while those who found a reason, no matter how simple, displayed impressive resilience. Frankl held on to the idea that he needed to survive to tell the world what he had seen, so that others could learn from suffering and seek meaning in life. This commitment strengthened him in the darkest hours, making him not only a survivor, but an inspiration to millions over the years. This example teaches us that intention is like a seed we plant within ourselves. It gives us courage, focus, and allows us to see purpose even in difficult situations. In today's world, where we are constantly bombarded by information, distractions, and external expectations, having an intention is a way to shield ourselves against chaos and chance. With intention, you're not just someone who responds to external demands, but someone who directs their own story. So, at the start of each day, ask yourself, what do I truly want to build today? What makes my heart beat stronger? This intention doesn't need to be something grand. It can be as simple as being kind, working with focus, spending quality time with important people, or taking care of your own health. What matters is that this intention is true and connects you with who you are and what you truly value. Beginning the day with a clear intention transforms each small action into an expression of your values. If your purpose is to be more present, For example, you might find yourself turning off your phone to listen attentively to someone, or taking a deep breath instead of responding impulsively. If your intention is to be more grateful, you'll see beauty in details that might have previously gone unnoticed. The sun through the window, a warm coffee, someone's smile. Small gestures that might otherwise be automatic and empty now carry meaning. At the end of the day, look back and realize that living with intention is, in fact, living with presence. Every action, no matter how small, contributes to building your purpose and essence. And as you live this way, something surprising happens. Life feels lighter, less weighed down by external demands, and more aligned with who you are. 5. Be present. Being present isn't just a wellness tip, it's one of life's biggest challenges and one of the most transformative skills we can develop. How often do our thoughts carry us back to painful memories or push us into fearful scenarios about the future? How often do we find ourselves absent from the now, preoccupied with things we can't change or anxious about what's yet to come? Imagine the story of a young man named Lucas who, like many of us, lived constantly waiting for the next stage, graduating, landing a good job, achieving a high position, starting a family, and so on. Lucas's life was a series of next steps that never seemed to arrive. In his race toward the future, he hardly realized he was missing out on living in the present. His days turned into a succession of tasks, leaving him constantly exhausted, caught in a cycle of ambition and anxiety. One day, during a casual conversation, an older friend introduced him to Stoicism and shared how he'd learned to live in the present. Lucas listened curiously, and the friend challenged him to try a simple exercise. Sit in silence for 5 minutes every morning, focusing on nothing but the moment. Lucas, albeit skeptical, accepted. That first time, those 5 minutes felt like an eternity. His mind jumped from worry to worry, bouncing from work concerns to uneasy memories. But he persisted. Gradually, in those moments of silence, he started to feel a sense of relief, as if the pressures of past and future were fading. As the days passed, Lucas noticed this simple practice made him more aware of the world around him. He began to hear birds singing at his window, smell the fresh coffee in the morning, and notice people's smiles around him. And perhaps most importantly, he felt his mind becoming lighter and calmer. Stoic philosophy teaches us that true power lies in accepting the present moment as it is. As the ancient philosophers said, it's not what happens to us, but how we respond to it that matters. Epictetus, one of Stoicism's great thinkers, reminds us that while we can't control events, we have complete control over how we respond to them. Being present is a choice to accept the now without resistance and to respond calmly and mindfully. When we are truly present, we're no longer dominated by regret or the urge to foresee and control the future. This doesn't mean we shouldn't plan or learn from the past, but it allows us to free ourselves from the weight these thoughts often impose. This shift improves our interactions with the world and those around us as we're genuinely there with them, attentive to what they're saying and feeling. Being present also helps us better manage stress, reduce anxiety, and increase emotional well-being. In practicing presence, Lucas didn't find solutions to every life problem, but he discovered something even more powerful, an inner space where he could face whatever life brought him without feeling overpowered by fear or uncertainty. He learned that the past doesn't have the power to imprison his present, and that the future, still unrealized, doesn't deserve to steal the now. The practice of being present is like a muscle that needs to be exercised. At first, it may feel strange or difficult, but over time, we become more skilled at silencing both external and internal noise to fully experience the moment. In the end, Lucas realized that by slowing down and living in the present, he was finally building a life of purpose, peace, and gratitude, a life that didn't need to wait for happiness in the future or regret the past. 6. Invest in harmony. Harmony. A simple word, yet one that embodies an ideal that many of us strive for, but few truly achieve. At its core, harmony is the perfect balance between action and calm, a state where we act with purpose and serenity, unshaken by the whirlwind of external achievements or the relentless pressures of the world around us. To live in harmony is to balance the drive to grow and accomplish with the need to rest and find peace, accepting that life's worth is not only in what we achieve, but in how we live. Imagine someone you know, a friend, a family member, or perhaps yourself, constantly striving to achieve something new, to conquer a goal, to prove capability. This person wakes up each day with a list of tasks, ambitions, and challenges. For a while, maybe they even felt proud seeing all they had achieved. But over time, their energy starts to drain, fatigue sets in, and the once bright accomplishments begin to feel hollow. Deep down, they start to wonder, what is all this for? Where is the peace I thought I'd find upon reaching these goals? There's a story that illustrates this quest for harmony. There was a man named Elias, known for his tireless pursuit of success. Elias woke up every day before dawn, meticulously organized his day, and didn't stop until every item on his list was checked off. He gained wealth, respect at work, and admiration for his determination. Yet, behind this image, Elias felt an emptiness he couldn't quite explain. Despite all his success, he lacked peace. Each achievement only brought a new goal, a fresh challenge, and he constantly felt like he was forever chasing. One day, after a grueling period of nonstop work, Elias decided to take a break and traveled to the countryside. There, he met an elderly man who lived a simple, peaceful life, tending to a small garden. Curious, Elias asked him what his secret to tranquility was. The old man smiled and said, I too once ran a lot in life. I wanted to do everything, to be the best at everything. But I only found real peace when I learned that not everything needs to be done now and that some things are important while others only distract us from the path to peace. The old man continued, harmony isn't about stopping. It's about choosing what to pursue. It's about accepting that perfect balance doesn't exist, and there will be days we do more and days we do less. The key is identifying what truly matters and letting go of what consumes us without bringing peace. It's learning to act calmly and purposefully without rushing or comparing. These words left a deep impression on Elias, who, upon returning to his routine, began to adopt a new perspective. He realized that his relentless pursuit of success and recognition was an illusion that distanced him from the peace he so deeply desired. He decided then to invest in harmony, not only in balancing work and rest, but in finding purpose in what he did. He started focusing on the essentials, acting with more intention, cherishing time with his family, and dedicating himself to projects that truly resonated with him. Gradually, he felt more at peace, more present, and more connected to himself. Investing in harmony is a conscious choice to seek inner peace rather than living solely for external accomplishments. It's accepting that perfect balance may never exist, that life is made of adaptations, of intense moments, and necessary pauses. By investing in harmony, we let go of the haste and pressure to be and do everything. We begin to prioritize what truly matters, knowing that there's strength and serenity in each step taken with intention. Remember, seeking harmony doesn't mean stopping or giving up on growth. It means growing in a way that nourishes and brings peace. May we all, like Elias, find the wisdom to discern what truly matters and the strength to choose serenity amidst the turbulence of life. 7. Cultivate daily gratitude. Gratitude is one of the most powerful pillars for a balanced and peaceful life. Although it may seem simple, this practice of reflecting on the things we are grateful for has the power to transform not only our day, but the way we approach life. Sometimes we become so immersed in difficulties and uncertainties that we forget to appreciate the small but significant blessings we already have. The practice of gratitude helps us realign our perspective, shift the focus of our worries, and recognize that even though the world around us may be unpredictable, there is always something to be thankful for. Imagine the impact this could have on your day. When you wake up, instead of getting lost in worries about what still needs to be done or the pressures of what's to come, you could start the day with a simple reflection on the things that already make your life better. It could be something as simple as the aroma of a hot cup of coffee, the company of a friend or family member, or even the fact that you woke up healthy and able to breathe deeply. These things, which we often take for granted, have a transformative power when we see them through the lens of gratitude. Epictetus, one of the great Stoic philosophers, teaches us that it is not things that disturb us, but our opinion of them. When we change our view of daily events, when we start looking at them with a mindset of gratitude, we begin to realize how rich our life already is, even if it is not perfect. The simple act of practicing daily gratitude can change the way you react to difficulties, making you more resilient and balanced. I would like to share a brief story that illustrates the power of gratitude. A few years ago, a man named Joan was going through an extremely tough time. He had lost his job, was in a troubled relationship, and felt completely lost, without direction. Every morning, he woke up with the weight of the world on his shoulders, feeling like nothing was going well and that nothing could change. One day, a concerned friend suggested that he start practicing gratitude, something so simple, yet powerful. Joan, skeptical, accepted the suggestion. In the first few days, he simply listed small things he was grateful for: the sun shining outside, a stranger's smile on the street, the hot meal at lunch. But as the days passed, he began to notice something profound happening within himself. His mind started to focus on the good things in life, rather than dwelling on the difficulties. He began to realize that, despite the challenges, his life was still full of moments of beauty and joy. Gratitude helped him change his perspective, and that was enough for him to find the strength to act, seek new job opportunities, strengthen his relationships, and finally find the peace and fulfillment he had been searching for. This story is not isolated. We can all benefit from the power of gratitude. It doesn't solve all problems at once, but it gives us the strength we need to face them with a positive mindset. By focusing on the blessings we already have, we begin to cultivate positive energy that reverberates in every area of our lives. It's not about ignoring challenges, but about learning to see them in a new light. The daily practice of gratitude also helps us recognize the importance of the present moment. Often, we are so worried about what happened in the past or what is yet to come that we forget to appreciate the present moment. Gratitude brings us back to the here and now, allowing us to savor every experience, no matter how small. Life, in its essence, is made of these fleeting moments. When we learn to appreciate them, we feel more complete and fulfilled. And what happens when you start your day with gratitude? Simply put, your perspective changes. You begin to notice more opportunities, more reasons to smile, more things to be grateful for. Your energy becomes lighter, and this positively affects your interactions with others, your productivity, and even your health. You become a more positive person, not by ignoring problems, but by learning to face them with a mindset that makes them easier to overcome. Now, you might be wondering, how can I incorporate gratitude into my daily life practically? It's simpler than it seems. Start with small steps. When you wake up, take a minute to think about the things you're grateful for. Maybe it's the warm bed you slept in, the coffee you're about to drink, or the fact that you have the chance to start a new day. Then extend this practice throughout your day. Along the way, pause to notice the little blessings that arise. This doesn't mean that problems will disappear, but with gratitude, you'll be better prepared to face them. Gratitude teaches us to change our relationship with the world, and by doing so, it changes our own life. It gives us a new lens through which we see situations, helping us understand that even in difficult moments, there is always something to be grateful for. Life is full of ups and downs, but gratitude gives us the strength to keep going and the wisdom to know that even in challenging times, we are growing. As Epictetus said, it's not the things themselves that disturb us, but our opinions about them. And when we change the way we see the world, we find peace, even in the storms. Cultivating daily gratitude is not just a habit, it's a lifestyle that transforms your perspective, your energy, and your ability to live with more serenity and joy. Start today and see the difference it can make. Gesture 8, find strength in adversity. Life is not made only of moments of tranquility and peace. Along our journey, we inevitably face challenges that test us. Often, these moments are seen as obstacles to be overcome, something that prevents us from achieving our goals or living fully. However, true strength is not revealed when everything is going well, but rather when we are tested by suffering, frustration, or difficulty. Stoic philosophy, one of the most powerful tools for dealing with life's ups and downs, teaches us something profound. It is not external events that disturb us, but our perception of them. This statement by Epictetus helps us understand that the power of our response is always in our hands. It is precisely in adversity that we have the chance to discover our true inner strength and grow as individuals. Think of the story of an ordinary man named João. He grew up in a small town and dreamed of achieving something bigger in life, but faced financial and family difficulties from a very young age. His childhood was marked by scarcity, lack of support, and unmet expectations. At 20, he moved to the capital in search of a better life. However, it wasn't easy. He faced financial difficulties, unstable jobs, and a constant feeling that nothing was going right. Often, doubt and fear threatened to consume his mind, and he wondered if it was really worth continuing to try. What could have been seen as a long series of failures seemed to be nothing more than a heavy burden to carry. It was during a moment of deep despair that João found a book on philosophy that spoke of the teachings of Marcus Aurelius and Epictetus. He read a sentence that changed his perspective. The quality of our life depends on the quality of our thoughts. This simple phrase made him reflect deeply on his situation. Instead of focusing only on the difficulties, João began to think differently. He realized that his true strength was not in avoiding problems, but in how he faced them. The simple act of choosing not to be consumed by the negativity of situations was already a great victory. He began to see each challenge as an opportunity to test and improve himself, rather than something that made him smaller or powerless. What followed was an internal transformation. Instead of seeing himself as a victim of circumstances, João began to see himself as someone who had the power to shape his response to the world. Adversity became fertile ground for the development of his resilience. He didn't run from challenges. He faced them with courage and balance. What once seemed like a series of insurmountable obstacles became a sequence of opportunities to grow. This story of João could be your story. We all go through moments of difficulty where the feeling of failure seems to predominate. But the great lesson here is that if we can change our perception of these difficulties, they become less like enemies and more like teachers that offer valuable lessons about life and about ourselves. As Marcus Aurelius wisely said, the obstacle to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. When we understand that adversity is not something to avoid, but something to be integrated into our growth process, our ability to deal with it increases significantly. Adversity does not define who we are, but reveals who we can become when we choose to use difficulty as a lever for inner strength. Therefore, instead of seeking a life free from difficulties, seek the strength to face them in a dignified and courageous way. Every time you feel tempted to give up or be consumed by negativity, remember that true resilience does not come from the absence of difficulties, but from how we choose to face them. By dealing with challenges consciously, calmly, and determinedly, you will be building a foundation of strength that cannot be shaken by anything that comes your way. Adversity, far from diminishing our lives, is actually an opportunity to become stronger and more complete versions of ourselves. Accept it, face it, and above all, learn from it. Congratulations on making it this far and investing in your personal development. The effort you've shown in learning and applying these teachings is truly impressive. You're on the right path to becoming the best version of yourself, and that's something that deserves to be recognized and celebrated with pride. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, this is the perfect opportunity to join us on this journey. Together, we will explore the power of Stoicism and transform the way we view life. Don't forget to leave a like, as it helps us share these ideas and inspires others to seek self-awareness. To let me know you're truly committed to your progress, leave the word transformation in the comments. I'd love to hear what you think about the points discussed in this video. See you in the next one, where we'll bring even more wisdom and inspiration to continue your journey.